Minister Masagos.
Chairman, I thank members for their suggestions, the vision to strengthen families to sustain social mobility. It's a common one we all share. We are starting on a strong foundation. Singapore has invested in education and well-being of its people. Singaporeans enjoy stable employment, own homes, have the means to start families and lead meaningful lives. This is a hope that we want to keep alive as a society. At MSF, we also want all families to enjoy such resilience and confidence in the future. In short, we want all families to achieve the 3 S's: stability, self-reliance, and social mobility. Stability, where families are strong and have the means to weather the ups and downs in life. When families face challenges, they weather them because of mutual support from their children, siblings, parents, and the extended family. Those who face severe challenges can also look to support from the government. Self-reliance, where families have a strong sense of ownership. Our society is strong because many Singaporeans continue to have this belief. MSF and our partners see many families who receive help and are motivated not only to do better for themselves and their children, but to actually give back and uplift others. Social mobility, where families will always have opportunities to progress and better their circumstances, and where they can aspire for their children to have a better and brighter future. Sustaining social mobility across generations is the most important assurance we can offer to families in Singapore. The 3 S's, stability, self-reliance, and social mobility, is MSF's hope for all families, but especially for lower-income families. This is Singapore's unique approach to addressing inequality. We keep social mobility alive by enabling self-reliance and building stability. We have seen elsewhere how rising social inequality leads to the stratification of society, growing distrust for the government, and increasing disunity amongst the people. To remain a united people, Singapore must do all we can to avoid walking this same path. We have proven to ourselves that during the COVID-19 pandemic, that we are a people who will help one another through difficult times. As we look ahead, we must build our social capital and strengthen our social compact, as Mr. Sia Kampeng and Ms. Ng Ling Ling have also suggested. But as they also suggested, it means it's not just what government can do. It's also what individuals, families, and the community can do together. So that together we strengthen families and sustain social mobility. Now, the how is as important as the what in seeking a refreshed social compact through the Forward SG exercise. We have heard many speak of the desire to help less fortunate Singaporeans nurture and build better lives, to forge an inclusive and caring Singapore. We will build on these aspirations of Singaporeans and focus their energies in 3 very important areas. Firstly, building strong families and uplifting families that require additional support. Secondly, strengthening the social service sector to deliver services that meet the needs of families. And thirdly, weaving an extensive tapestry of support around families by expanding partnerships across society in a renewed social compact. Chairman, families are the bedrock of our society, where values like self-reliance are transmitted, where our characters are shaped. A supportive family nurtures children to become compassionate members of society. able to pursue their aspirations, achieve social mobility for their family, and give back to society. A strong nation is built on strong families. The government has invested greatly in families to support them across all stages. With your permission, Mr. Speaker, may I ask the clerks to distribute an infographic detailing the family-related announcements during this budget. For members' reference.
Please proceed.
Members, thank you. Members may also access these materials through the MP at SG PAL app. Together with these latest measures, families are supported across all stages of life. Now, for those starting a family, we will provide them with greater support in securing their first home. Newlyweds are supported in laying strong foundations to their marriage, such as through marriage preparation programs and mentoring support from their licensed solemnizers. When couples go on to have children, they are supported in the cost of raising their children through the increase in the baby bonus cash gift and child development accounts. Parents with children of preschool ages have access to affordable and quality preschools with more places to be created. Families caring for persons with disabilities have enhanced support for lifelong learning, employment opportunities, as well as caregiving support. We also support our seniors in aging well. Seniors are supported through preventive health, active aging programs, and care services. We are building towards a society that empowers seniors to live healthy lives, be socially engaged, and contribute meaningfully. The top-up to the ComCare Endowment Fund provides more resourcing and certainty for MSF in supporting lower-income families through ComCare amid high inflation. Comlink has also been rolled out to proactively support families with children in rental homes. Our efforts continue as we strive to make Singapore a place where families thrive. Last year, during the year of celebrating SG families, MSF launched the Singapore Made for Families 2025 plan, a 3-year plan that outlines how the government, community partners, businesses, and individuals can together create a Singapore where all families are valued and supported. As families navigate various milestones, our goal is to ensure they are equipped with the necessary family and parenting skills. Mr. Melvin Yong asked about the efforts of Families for Life, or FFL, to strengthen families. FFL started with broad-based public education campaigns and resources. More recently, it intensified ground outreach in Choa Chu Kang and Yishun by offering localized marriage, parenting, and even grandparenting programs under the FFL at Community initiative. I'm pleased to share that FFL will expand this initiative to 9 towns by the end of the year and to all towns by 2025. An expected 4,000 couples and 20,000 parents will benefit from these programs every year from 2025 onwards. There will be families that need more targeted support. Today, there are family service centers which provide integrated and multidisciplinary services to meet the diverse needs of families. We call these centers FAM at FSC. FAM at FSC. The services they offer include marriage preparation programs, parenting programs, family counseling, and divorce support programs. We have seen positive outcomes from these efforts. For example, participants of our marriage preparation program, or PrEP, report better communication skills with their spouse. We know that all couples aspire to have a strong relationship and a strong family. FFL and FAM at FSC are there on the ground to provide support to them if they need it. Ms. Shahira Abdullah spoke about support for single unwed mothers. Our policies reflect the value our society places on parenthood within marriage. However, we also empathize with the challenges faced by single unwed parents. There is appropriate welfare support for them too. In providing support, we put weight on their child's well-being and supporting them in their caregiving responsibilities. Hence, we extend government benefits that support the growth and development of their children, as we do to other children. These include subsidies for education, healthcare, infant care, and childcare, the foreign domestic worker levy concession, and the child development accounts. HDB also assesses their requests for housing holistically based on their individual circumstances. The family plays an important role in caring for its loved one, even in old age. Increasingly, the lasting power of attorney or LPA and advanced care planning ACP will be important ways that families have the assurance that they are respecting the wishes and intents of their loved ones, who may no longer be able to express their wishes when they lose their mental capacity. In response to Mr. Henry Quek, we are making progress encouraging adoption of LPAs. More than 10,000 applications have been made online. MSF, MOH, and PSD will be launching a public education campaign to promote pre-planning. Some members have raised the issue of possible abuse of LPAs. At the same time, others have asked for the process to be simpler and cheaper. The public guardian will continue to be mindful of these considerations, and I seek the support of members to understand that the public guardian has to balance convenience and costs with appropriate safeguards. What I've covered are broad-based efforts to strengthen families. We'll also extend additional support to lower-income families through targeted programs. These families often face complex and interlocking challenges which cannot be addressed by one agency or partner. These issues need to be addressed proactively, early, and in a coordinated way, preventing them from becoming entrenched. One example is Kickstart, which is targeted at children in lower-income families. Through Kickstart, parents are empowered to be confident and competent caregivers. Efforts begin at the hospital, with families given close support through home visits as the child grows older. Kickstart has supported over 6,200 children from lower-income families thus far, and we have seen good results. As announced by DPM Wong in the budget, we will be scaling Kickstart nationwide. This is a major effort to move upstream in our effort and support for children from lower-income families, and Mos Soncheling will share more on this. Comlink further ensures that children from lower-income families who are provided with a good start in life and supported on a journey of progress. Introduced in 2019, it supports families with children living in rental housing by connecting them to community resources and government services. Like the localized FFL presence I spoke about just now in each town, Comlink depends on the contingent of volunteers, working closely with officers at the SSOs. Over 2,400 volunteers have been recruited to support various Comlink efforts such as outreach, befriending, and programs. One such volunteer is Shen Jun, who has helped Mr. Wong, aged 68, improve the circumstances of his family. Mr. Wong was worried he would not be able to find employment given his age. But with Shen Jun's support, Mr. Wong secured a full-time job as a security officer. His family is now no longer on Comcare assistance. Shen Jun regularly visits them and shares relevant resources and information, such as HDB launch dates, knowing that Mr. Wong aspires to own a flat. He also shares information on bursary awards for their son, who is in primary school, to help them with their expenses. Mr. Wong and his family are grateful to Shen Jun for his support. For families that demonstrate a strong commitment to do their part, to create better conditions for their children, we want to be able to support them better. This is our approach in our new social compact. We intend to tailor sustained support to encourage them. Our aim is for them to achieve the 3 S's quicker. We are working out the specifics and intend to share details later this year. Apart from lower income families, families caring for children and developmental needs also need additional attention. Moss Railing will elaborate on our plans to increase early intervention capacity. We will also provide support for families caring for persons with disabilities. Last year, we announced the Enabling Master Plan 2030. Efforts are underway to progressively implement the 29 recommendations of the Master Plan. On this note, I'm happy to announce the launch of the first Enabling Services Hub in Tampines West Community Centre. This follows the recommendation to provide support services to enable persons with disabilities to live independently and well in and with the community. The hub will reach out to persons with disabilities and their caregivers in its region to understand their needs, link them to relevant support, and provide on-site services, such as continuous learning programs and respite care for caregivers. SPS Eric Chua will elaborate on support for persons with disabilities. Integral to our efforts to strengthen families and uplift those in need are our partners, in particular, our social service agencies, our SSAs. Ms. Joan Pereira, Mr. Muhammad Fahmi bin Aliman, Ms. Ng Ling Ling, Ms. Janet Ng have asked how we will recognize and continue to support these efforts. In recognition of our SSA's invaluable efforts, 2023 has been dedicated as the year of celebrating social service partners. Significant contribution by SSAs are also recognized through the annual MSF Volunteer and Partner Awards, MVPA, and Community Chest Awards. Behind the successful delivery of social services by the SSAs are those who provide resources, funds, and manpower, the government, philanthropists, and donors, as well as volunteers. Over the years, we have witnessed donors stepping forward and have developed and strengthened mechanisms to support the social service sector in meeting emerging needs. The Tote Board Social Service Fund, for instance, supports more than 70 programs, serving over 362,000 clients in partnership with various government agencies. As social needs further evolve, access to generous financial support remains a key enabler of the sector. I'm happy to share that the Tote Board has committed around $846 million to the Tote Board Social Service Fund for the next 5 years. This is the Tote Board's largest commitment since the inception of the fund. It complements the government's funding of about $400 million a year to support key social programs. Now, beyond financial support, a strong core of passionate and competent professionals is equally crucial. As raised by Mr. Sia Kiampeng and Ms. Dennis Pua, they need to be given due recognition and supported in their work. Hence, measures must be taken to better attract, train, and retain staff. To support SSAs in this area, we have completed the review of the NCSS sector salary guidelines to keep pace with wage realities in the market and account for changes in job responsibilities as well as salaries of comparable roles in competing markets. When implemented, more than 20,000 employees, including social workers, psychologists, early intervention educators, and care workers, are expected to see increases by between 4% and 15% in financial year 2023. I strongly encourage SSAs to adopt the guidelines to continue to attract and retain talent, and MSF and NCS will support their efforts. Funding for MSF and NCSS funded programs will also be adjusted accordingly. Also working tirelessly along our sector professionals are our volunteers. NCSS will be rolling out new schemes under the Community Capability Trust to help SSAs build capabilities to better volunteer management. Ms. Carrie Tan has also asked about support for our SSAs in building capabilities in research and evaluation. We agree that this is important and there are existing support initiatives in place. The Sector Evaluation Framework launched in 2021 provides SSAs, funders, and public agencies a common language and outcome metric to articulate impact. SSAs may also tap on research advisory support through NCSS network of volunteer research consultants and subsidized research courses and workshops offered by Social Service Institute and universities. Chairman, beyond SSAs, there are many more who make a difference in the social sector, including businesses and the Institutes of Higher Learning, or IHL. Businesses are a key touchpoint for different segments of society. At its very core, businesses provide employment, the first step to achieve stability, self-reliance, and social mobility, the 3 S's. Businesses also shape Singapore into a family-friendly and inclusive society through flexible working arrangements for caregivers and inclusive hiring practices for persons with disabilities. Furthermore, businesses possess a wealth of resources, and many have sought to share this, weaving giving into their DNA. Mr. Murali Pillai and Ms. Janet Ang said that more could be done to build this culture of giving. We are heartened by and appreciate SBF Foundation's initiatives on this front, and in particular, as part of the Youth Connections pilot, as Ms. Janet Ang has shared. This demonstrates the strong impact that businesses can make beyond economic returns. Moving forward, we'll continue to partner businesses to promote and encourage sustainable philanthropy, which looks to businesses and Singaporeans making sustained contributions beyond episodic giving of money and goods. NCSS champions sustainable philanthropy and is working with the National Volunteer and Philanthropy Centre, which recently launched its corporate purpose framework to define and measure businesses' impact on social causes. One example of sustainable philanthropy is the Change for Charity initiative, where businesses enable customers to donate to community chests conveniently when they make payments. I'm glad that banks such as DBS, Maybank, and UOB have joined us on this initiative, and that retail brands like Eu Yan Sang are matching their customers' donations. In the coming years, we believe more businesses will come on board for Change for Charity. Our hope is that more businesses and organizations do not just stop with Change for Charity, but come up with creative ways to leverage their expertise. In each business and organization is a wellspring of good that can be tapped, that can be achieved, tapping on the business's assets, the expertise, and time of its people. For instance, in 2022, Mendix, a software company, gathered over 400 developers for an international hackathon on issues by non-profit organizations, including our SSAs. This resulted in impactful digital solutions. For example, New Hope Community Services now has an app that allows social workers to view their program activities easily, facilitating service delivery. Another example is the Community Uplift Program by UOL and the Pan Pacific Hotels Group. Through this, UOL and Pan Pacific tap on their resources to provide enriching experiences like rock climbing and art classes for children from Comling families. This offers the children opportunities to bond with their families and participate in activities not easily accessible to them. But more importantly, by bringing these children and their families out of their everyday settings into venues such as hotels managed by their group, the children are exposed to a greater breadth of career choices. This broadens their outlook and inspires them to dream bigger and climb higher in life. We welcome more of such partnerships. As for the IHLs, they are where our social sector professionals acquire the knowledge and skills to work effectively. Researchers and academics also contribute invaluable insights to inform our policies and practice. For example, the research project on identifying positive adaptive pathways in low-income families in Singapore, conducted by NUS researchers, informed efforts to better support families in working towards the 3 S's, particularly in time of economic hardship. The study found that building family hardiness, which includes the family's ability to adapt, the family's sense of control over the situation, help to bolster mothers' hope in the short term and reduce the risk of longer-term mental health issues. Our work through Comlink Families Coaches and Befrienders provide precisely these opportunities to build such resilience towards the 3 S's. I hope the research will be as informative to the refinement of Comlink as Gusto has been for Kickstart. The Gusto study by researchers from the National University Health System, KK Hospital, NUS, A-STAR, showed that mothers' responsiveness to their child's needs in infancy makes a difference to the child's readiness for school and academic performance. The study also demonstrated that mothers' physical and mental well-being during pregnancy had a large impact on their child's development. This led us to focusing on reaching more mothers at the antenatal stage so that they can benefit earlier from Kickstart. To harness this spirit for a stronger collective impact, we look forward to greater collaborations with universities and academics to develop research. MSF has begun this work through the Asian Family Conference, bringing together researchers, policymakers, and practitioners across the region to exchange learning points and leveraging this research to inform policies and practice. The intention is to build up a robust knowledge base of family-centric research that can inform social policy and practice in Singapore and beyond, something Ms. Ng Ling Ling asked for. SSAs can both contribute to and tap on this base of knowledge as resources for their work. In particular, there's a need for local research that speaks to our context, taking on a family-centric approach, our unique socio-cultural environments, and the cultural nuances of the diverse communities in Singapore. Chairman, allow me to continue in Malay.
Please.
Tuan Pengerusi, keluarga kekal menjadi tunggak dan tumpuan semua usaha pemerintah. Kami akan mempertingkatkan sokongan kepada masyarakat di sepanjang tahap perkembangan kehidupan berkeluarga mereka. Ini bermula seawal pada waktu pasangan itu merancang untuk berkahwin, ketika mereka menimang cahaya mata, hinggalah sepanjang mereka membesarkan anak-anak dan selanjutnya. Pemerintah komited untuk membina masa depan yang lebih baik untuk semua, dan kami akan pastikan tidak ada siapa yang akan ketinggalan. Namun, pemerintah tidak boleh melakukannya secara sendirian. Kami memerlukan satu ekosistem rakan kongsi yang bersepadu. Program-program utama seperti Comlink dan Kickstart akan melibatkan rakan-rakan masyarakat dan membantu keluarga bergaji rendah, termasuk keluarga Melayu Islam, memperoleh kestabilan, berupaya untuk berdikari dan mencapai mobiliti sosial. Kami telah memperkenalkan beberapa inisiatif untuk membantu keluarga Melayu Islam dengan lebih baik lagi. Melalui projek Dian di MCOS 3, sokongan yang lebih berkesan dan bersepadu dapat diberikan kepada keluarga Melayu Islam yang tinggal di flat-flat sewa dengan menghubungkan mereka kepada pelbagai program di peringkat nasional dan masyarakat untuk pendidikan, pekerjaan, sokongan sosial dan kesihatan. Pada masa yang sama, kita harus mendorong anak-anak muda kita untuk bercita-cita tinggi dan rajin berusaha dan demi mencapai impian mereka. Salah satu cara adalah dengan mendedahkan mereka kepada para individu contoh atau mentor dan pengaruh-pengaruh positif. Misalnya, menerusi projek Pathfinder oleh sukarelawan dari SAF, para pelajar di Institut Pendidikan Teknikal ITE College Timur dipadankan dengan mentor yang membimbing mereka supaya berdaya tahan serta mengajar mereka ilmu pengetahuan dan disiplin. Pemerintah akan bekerja rapat dengan rakan kongsi kami untuk memperkukuh sokongan bagi rakyat Singapura. Untuk menunjukkan usaha baik mereka, MSF mendedikasikan tahun 2023 sebagai tahun meraikan rakan khidmat sosial. Chairman, strengthening families and sustaining social mobility for people is a whole of society effort. Our SSAs, social enterprises, businesses, community groups, academia, and more have been invaluable partners. In this year of celebrating social service partners, I encourage Singaporeans to join us in applauding the contributions of our partners and encourage more partners to join hands with us. Together, we can build a Singapore made for families, where our strong social compact supports all families in achieving stability, self-reliance, and social mobility, and keeps social mobility alive. Thank you.